Hello, this is Aubrey Bursch with Easy School Marketing, and today I'm going to talk to you about some tools that I think you should explore this summer. Summer is a wonderful time to really test out new software, to transition from one software to another, and to really investigate what is the best option for your school. Now, before you start this process, I always ask my clients, my school partners, to really consider, okay, where am I spending most of my time and energy? What are the steps that I am doing over and over that are really time consuming? And is there software out there that could potentially streamline the things that I'm doing? So after you've asked yourself these questions and you've made yourself your list, I highly recommend that you start investigating tools that might help you with your position in a small school. All right, so let's talk about it. AppSumo. So I don't know, this isn't a tool, but it's a website that I find a lot of great tools at. So AppSumo, AppSumo. I'm not affiliated at all. So AppSumo usually has these newer software things that are launching, and you get to buy in at a very low cost for lifetime access. So why is this important? Well, if you're a small school with limited resources and you want a really good, content creation program, like maybe a social media scheduler, but you don't want to pay the $50 a month for that tool, your budget doesn't allow. This is the time to use AppSumo because you'll find great. We've found free project management tools on there. We've paid $50 for lifetime access to something that someone else is paying $300 a year for. So just really take a look at AppSumo once you've started to make your list, because you'd be surprised how many software options on there can help you and make your life easier and for a very low cost. Another thing I think that people should check out is ChatGPT or any AI tools, right? Now, AI, that's a whole nother conversation, but it's here to stay. This would be a good time this summer to play around with it, see how you can use it. Now, I do not recommend, and a lot of my colleagues would agree, that you use an AI tool to just write your articles and blogs, but it can help you get them started, and then you can kind of edit it and put things in your own words. So it is a tool that I recommend that you dive into this summer and just play around with it and see how it might make your life easier. Another thing is project management tools. So I recommend to a lot of people to either go to AppSumo or to choose a project management tool that is free to nonprofits and schools. So one that we've seen a couple of our schools use is called Bloo, B-L-O-O. And basically Bloo allows you to have free project management, and you can have as many team members join, which if you know project management, that team member addition usually costs a lot of money. So this benefits you. I really recommend that you take this summer to map out your entire school year on project management. You will thank yourself later. Your team will thank you later. You will thank yourself next year because you can have reoccurring events and tasks, and it will make your life so much easier. So that's this summer, is to figure out project management tool that works for your team and to implement it. Another thing is if you're not using an email marketing software or any software to really send emails and track your open rates and click-through rates and also be able to schedule sequences, email sequences and drip campaigns, then you need to look into this because it's going to make your life so much easier as a small school. So I highly recommend, there are many different ones, and you can also certainly find probably some freer version. I prefer paid because it usually gives you the options you really need, like resend to unopens, which is a fantastic way to increase your open rate with your weekly newsletter that you might send out to your parents. So if you're not using one, check one out. My favorite is ConvertKit, but there's also MailChimp and other things, and they're completely happy with those as well. Another thing to look at this summer is calendar schedulers. So if your tours aren't running through a calendar scheduler, I'm talking about Acuity or Calendly, where people can click on something and they see a bunch of dates and they can click on that and easily schedule something with you, then this is the time to investigate that. It will save you so much time. I know some schools who use this for heads of schools. So they send it out to their parents and say, if you want to meet with the head of school, here's the calendar link, and you can click onto this and it will show you available times. Now you can also block off the times that you want to show as available so that you're not just getting people popping up on your schedule left and right in weird time frames. Also, forms and surveys. So this is a time, if you haven't already mapped out your surveys for the year, this is a time to batch them and to look at different survey options that might work for you in your school. You can look at Google Forms, SurveyMonkey. There are tons of other things. You could look at AppSumo to see what sort of survey options they have for low cost, and just really play around with it and make sure that your surveys are set up for this upcoming year. So that's a wonderful use of your summertime. Another one is admissions tracking software. So if your student information system or whatever database you're currently using doesn't offer sort of an admissions tracking system where you can schedule emails to go out, you can track people through the different stages of the admissions process, you can easily pull numbers of like yield and everything like that, then now is the time to definitely get some demos. I mean, there are so many amazing companies out there that offer free demos. Just go check them out and compare and contrast and see if one is in your price range and works for you. I mean, there's Inquiry Tracker, Digistorm does a lot of things. And then, even your current database might have an add-on that makes this possible. So do some research and try something out. And then the last one to consider is we're hearing a lot about parents being overwhelmed by communication. Well, if you are hearing that as well from your families, then I would suggest looking into app options, right? I know Parent Square is really popular. Digistorm has an app feature. Just do some research and figure out what app might work for you, and then think about how you might want to implement it for the incoming year. So I've thrown a lot at you, but I hope these tools really give you something to sink your teeth into this summer as you enjoy diving in and learning some new things and hopefully saving you time and money in the fall. Take care.